Good morning to everyone. Myself, I am Surya Narayana, working as an assistant professor in PBR BITS Kavali. Today, in this class, I am going to discuss about what is extrusion and the different types of extrusion processes in this class in manufacturing process subject. First of all, coming to extrusion, extrusion is the process that forces the metal to flow through a shape forming die. That means we are forcing the metal fluid liquid into the semi opening die or shape forming die. After that, the final output will be collected as extruded product. The metal is plastically deformed under compression in the die cavity. Extrusion produces only compressive and shear forces. There is no tensile forces here, only compression and shear forces, which makes high deformation possible without tearing the material. That means without any escaping or edge crackings, etc. Next, it is a hot working process which like forging, rolling and etc. used for good deformability of heated metallic materials. And next, working of extrusion. Initially, a metal billet, we already know that a billet, it is a squared part having the dimensions 50 to 125 mm, heated, already preheated to the appropriate temperature, is fed. That means we are giving the feed into the cylindrical container of extrusion press, and it is forced by the action of ram through a steel die whose orifice has a desired shape and to produce a solid or hollow sections. That is about extrusion process. And next, the metal emerges from the die as a continuous bar which is cut to the required length. And next, extrusion products are therefore essentially linear nature in character, in the sense that is shaping is conformed to the cross section only. We are shaping the cross section only. That is, according to our requirement, the die will make to the desired shapes. The process is therefore eminently suitable for the production of bar like tubular objects. Next, this is the figure for extrusion process. We are forcing the metal into the semi opening or shape forming die. In this, I am showing that in this figure, upper and lower one, that is a die, and we are forcing the metal through a ram into the shaped forming die. After finally, we are collecting the output like a extruded product. The thickness is reduced. The cross section that can be produced vary from solid round rectangulars to L shapes, T shapes and tubes for different types of applications. Extrusion. The main advantage of extrusion often minimize the need of secondary machining. That means after the output comes from the extruded dies, and further machining is eliminated or minimized by using extrusion process compared to other process. Next, however, this process can produce a wide variety of cross sections that are harder to produce cost effectively using the other methods. Extrusion differs from drawing in that the metal is pushed rather than pulled under tension. That means in extrusion we are pushing, and coming to drawing we are pulling. That is the difference to extrusion and wire drawing or tube drawing. Extrusion process can be carried out in hot or cold. These are the examples of cross sections, like sections of cylindrical, cube, rectangular, I sections, L sections, T sections, ovals, semi ovals, etc. Next, coming to cold extrusion. I was already told you about the extrusion having different types, cold extrusion and hot extrusion. First of all, I am discussing about cold extrusion. The extrusion, cold extrusion is the process done at room temperature or slightly elevated temperatures. The process can be used for most materials subjected to designing robust enough tooling that can withstand the stresses created by extrusion. We already know that in hot working and cold working, above the recrystallization temperatures that is hot, below the recrystallization temperatures that is cold. For cold extrusion, we are using the materials to withstand the pressures: lead, tin, aluminum alloys, copper, titanium, molybdenum, vanadium, steel, etc. Typical parts are aluminum cans, cylinders, gear blanks, etc. Next, advantages of cold extrusion. Oxidation takes place. That means no oxidation takes place. If there is no oxidation, then strength of material is good. Good mechanical properties due to severe cold working. In this process, there is no heating, only the process done under room temperature. Good surface finish occur by using proper lubrication. Next, coming to hot extrusion. Basically, in this hot extrusion, the process done at above the room temperatures. That means above the recrystallization temperatures, 50 to 75% of metal is melted. Next, the pressures can range 35 to 700 megapascals. Due to high temperatures, the pressures and its detrimental effect on the die life as well as other components. Lubrication is very mandatory in hot extrusion. Next, principal variables or factors affecting on the extrusion process. Those are the type of extrusion, which type of extrusion we are using, hot or cold, the extrusion ratio, that means initial volume to final volume, and the working temperatures, below the recrystallization temperature or above the recrystallization temperature, the speed of deformation, that means the time taken for deformation, and the velocities that can be calculated. And that also, these are the factors, the frictional condition, main is the frictional condition. These are the principal variables or factors affecting on the extrusion process. And next, typical parts. Typical parts, that means window frame members, railings, aircraft structures. These are the applications of extrusion. Next, coming to what are the differences between cold extrusion to hot extrusion. First one is the cold extrusion, second one is hot extrusion. Here it is a mistake, second one is hot extrusion. In cold extrusion, surface finish is good. In hot extrusion, surface finish is somewhat not good. And next, coming to cold, dimensional tolerance and dimensional accuracy is very good, and in the hot extrusion, those are not comparable with cold extrusion products. Next, coming to cold extrusion, high production rates at low costs. In hot, high production rate but process fit for only bulk material, not individual components. Next, in cold extrusion, mechanical properties are improved. In hot extrusion, since processing is done, hot recrystallization takes place. Next, tooling subjected to high stresses, that means in cold extrusion there is no application of heat here, there is no temperatures. This process done at room temperature, then high pressures are required to melt the material. In hot extrusion, tooling subjected to high stresses as well as high temperatures. Lubrication is mandatory. And next, types of extrusion. Extrusion process can be classified 5 ways: direct, indirect, combined, hydrostatic and impact. First one, I am discussing about direct extrusion. Direct extrusion is also known as forward extrusion. Why? Because the process is done in forward stroke or forward direction. In this process, a ram forces the preheated billet through the die in forward direction. The billet slides only relative to the container wall. In this, the material is moved relative to the container. The wall friction increases the ram force considerably. In direct, Pressure plate is also placed end of the contact with the billet. So for this reason, that is the process. This process is compared like squeezing toothpaste from the tube. This is used for producing of bolts, screws and stepped shafts, that is direct extrusion. Next, coming to figure of direct extrusion. In this figure, a ram which is used to push the material, that means forcing the material into the die, shaped die by using a ram. In between cylindrical container walls, we are placing the billet. The ram used to push the billet into the die. Finally, the output part is collected in exit, that is the direct extrusion. Next, indirect or reverse or inverted or backward extrusion. Coming to indirect extrusion, it is the process that forces the metal confined into the cavity to flow in a direction opposite to the ram travel. In direct extrusion, the ram travel relative motion with the container walls. That means material move along with the container walls through ram. But in indirect or reverse or backward extrusion, the ram moves in one direction, the output will be collected in another direction, opposite, purely opposite. By using indirect extrusion, you can get bolts, that means indirect is used for bolts and screws. Indirect compression, that means indirect extrusion used for nuts, sleeves and tubular rivets. Next, this is a figure for indirect extrusion. We are forcing the metal, that means we are forcing the billet in one direction, left side direction in this figure, and output will be collected in right side. That part is known as extruded rod. That is about indirect extrusion. Next, the differences between forward to backward extrusion. Forward extrusion, simple but material must slide along with the chamber wall. In backward direction or backward extrusion, material does not move, only die moves. Coming to forward, high frictional forces must be overcome. That means material moves along with the chamber walls. The rubbing forces between material, that means billet to the container walls, is very high. In backward direction, low frictional forces are generated. Next, in forward, high extrusion forces are required. In backward, 25 to 30% only less extruding force are required compared to direct. In forward direction, high scrap or material wastage 18 to 20%. In backward or indirect extrusion, 5 to 6% only scrap. Next, combined extrusion. Combined extrusion uses a combination of forward and backward extrusion processes. The metal is confined inside a matrix between lower and upper punches. This forces the metal to flow both up and down action. The extruded part will be collected and lifted from the die on the upward stroke of the slide by a lift out on the bed of the press. Some aspects of combined extrusion: it is fast, can be complete parts in few steps, produce large quantities, wastes little material, make parts with a small radii, requires mirror tooling. These are the combined extrusion advantages. Next, coming to hydrostatic extrusion. Among all operations, all extrusion process, why we are preferring hydrostatic extrusion? We have the severe defect, that means the friction plays main important role in extrusion process. So for that overcome, in order to avoid friction or minimize frictional losses, we are using lubricants. In hydrostatic extrusion process, the chamber is filled with a fluid and that transmits the power to the billet, which is then extruded through the die. There is no friction along the walls of container. Why? Because the frictional forces are minimized by using lubrication inside the chamber. Because the billet is subjected to uniform hydrostatic pressures, it does not upset to fill the bore of the container. It would be in conventional extrusion. Next, because of pressurized fluids, lubrication is very effective and extruded product has good surface finish. This is the figure for hydrostatic extrusion, that is similar to direct extrusion, but in this the inside of container walls or inside of chamber we are pouring the fluid for lubrication, that is hydrostatic extrusion. And finally, impact extrusion. It is a form of indirect extrusion and is particularly suitable for only hollow shapes, used for only performing high speed mechanical presses. The punch descends at a high speed and strikes the blank, extruding it upwards. That process I will explain by using a diagram. Is this process restricted to soft materials, that means lead, tin, aluminum. Except these materials, we are using another materials for impact extrusion. In this figure I am showing that a punch which is used to strike the die. After striking, the extruded two parts are produced by using impact extrusions. Next, machines which are used for extrusion, both hydraulic and mechanical poses, horizontal and vertical configurations. They should be capable of exerting high forces and their rams should have long strokes. Lubricants must be used in extrusion. The dies and punches are made good quality alloy steels, which are known as hot and cold die steels. Extrusion speed of the order 0.5 meter per second for light alloys, 4.5 meter per second for copper alloys. And next, advantages of extrusion. The tooling cost is low, intricate cross-sectional shapes, hardness and yield strength increased. Most applications no further machining is required. These are the advantages of extrusion process and limitations of extrusion. High tolerances are difficult to achieve, limited for only ductile materials, that means having elastic nature. Extruded products suffer from surface crackings, that means internal crackings, and internal cracking might also occur due to increasing of temperatures with surface temperatures. Next, extrusion defects. Sometimes surface of extruded metal products develops surface cracks. This is due to heat generated in the extrusion process, and cracks, extruded product can develop internal cracks. And the principal extrusion defects are surface cracking, pipe internal cracking. Surface cracking, that means the crackings are occurred if extrusion temperature, friction or speed is too high. Surface temperatures can rise significantly, which may cause surface defects or surface crackings and tear. The defects occur especially aluminum, magnesium, zinc alloys, and they may have also occur in high temperature alloys. The extrusion pressures increase rapidly, shorter, therefore the product moves forward again and the pressure is released. The cycle is repeated continually, producing periodical circumferential cracks on the surface. Next, coming to internal cracks, the center of the extruded product can develop cracks called center cracking, center burst, arrowhead fracture. These cracks are attributed to state of hydrostatic tensile stresses at the center line in the deformation zone in the die, a situation similar to the naked region. These cracks also have been observed in tube extrusion and in tube spinning. Next, pipe. It is a one defect. Metal flow pattern in extrusion tends to draw surface oxides and impurities towards to the center billet, like funnel, pipe defect and tail pipe. That is one defect. And piping can be minimized by modifying the flow pattern to be more uniform, such as by controlling frictional and minimizing the temperature gradients. That is about pipe defect. And in this figure I am showing that first one is center burst, and second one is piping defect, and third one is surface cracking. Thank you students, thanks for watching.